hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play the 13th Age. Alright!
Whoa!
After our very special 50th anniversary session, we are now keeping...
Yes, that's right. We've been doing this for 50 straight years.
Even longer running than The Simpsons.
Oh dear. Yeah, our marathon is coming up on... Well, we couldn't get it on FXX or any of them. We're going to be on PAX TV.
They show anything.
Kind of weird.
We're on the Hallmark channel because
We're on the
Nothing-
TV Guide channel.
nothing but touching stories here.
That specific touching story last week was the discovery that our heroes had accidentally done something incredibly heroic. By defending themselves from the greedy grasp of Imugi the Empyrean Dragon, they had also freed the region below and were celebrated for doing so. While investigating a sense that some magical mystery was afoot, they toured down the river and found that a bit of a deja vu adventure, as is appropriate for a 50th session.
No.
I hope so. I hope you liked it. And found that the stain of memory left on that branch of the river, combined with the random and unknown magics of the majority of the keys put together, led to spawn of the river devil rising up. But then we're smacked right back down in a game of cosmic heroic whack-a-mole.
It's like the first time.
Oh yeah. And now we rejoin our heroes as they float further down the river.
Just across the river.
What do you guys mean? That was the first time I've seen those.
It's the first time you, the player, saw it, but not the first time Bella, the character. She was there, just on.
Was I asleep then?
Possibly. I didn't go back to session one.
Are you trying to tell me? No, are you trying to tell me that our boat was under attack and I slept through it? No one even woke me up?
Yes.
They had everything in hand. There was a acid arrow infused ship mast that was fired by a bow. It was crazy.
Wait, man, well, you weren't even there. I didn't even know you back then.
I've heard the stories.
Oh yes, the stories where
Was
the
I
river,
there for that?
river devil attacked.
You were there.
Bella
It was your
sleeping
it was your
in her
first day with the rest of the crew.
Bella
You were
said, "Don't
definitely
disturb
there.
me while I'm composing." And I was
For
like,
any
well, okay.
reason
I mean,
whatsoever.
Bella, there's a river devil outside.
Anyhow,
What did I say?
as your
You just said, Rip, stop suggesting lyrics.
as your barge that the battled van is floating on continues downriver toward the sea, essentially.
Yeah.
Scarlet senses that the magical disturbance created by the keys is still around, but you can see around you that it is without the taint of that evil memory. It takes on a benign nature. The fall foliage that you expected, that you saw upriver and would expect just by looking at a calendar, is now just a little bit of springtime in this corner of the Empire. You see birds singing and flowers blooming. It's really quite nice.
Here in the tiki room.
Yeah, okay. We already did the Disneyland adventure. Alright. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This works.
What's this building supposed to be?
Nothing. You're not in town yet.
Yeah, shush. We're on the river.
As you as you get out to the sea proper, you find it best, just being on a barge rather than an actual ship, just to hug the shore and float along until you find a proper landing place to get back up on roads and things that the battle van can handle, and instead of the forest overgrowth. Now, on that landing place, you find a halfling archaeologist / necromancer named Mad Ignatius, who's been digging in a cavern nonstop for both the origin of the halfling race or maybe weapons against the Lich King, depending on what day it is.
What was that name again?
Mad Ignatius.
Is his first name Mad, or is it all Mad Ignatius?
Is that
Like I tell you, didn't I tell you? I think I told you. I'll never tell.
Oh,
Says Mad Ignatius.
Okay. He's one of... Hmm.
Now, Manuel, what sort of adventure did you? How did your encounter with Mad Ignatius end?
It ended... I mean, as all encounters with halflings do, he stole some of our personal items.
What a jerk!
He said there was something about using them to raise an army of necromantic something or other. He was kind of crazy. So
Yeah, I wouldn't believe a word of it.
I didn't hear anything. I think he just stole our stuff.
Now, further up,
Wait, did we not? Did we not do anything about that?
No. You got it.
oh, yeah,
You got it.
that's about it.
Ran off.
What kind of stuff did he steal?
Yeah.
All of it.
All of
the
it. He
stuff.
stole all of our...
We're now poor
all
and
of
we're
it.
broke.
Yeah, we have no clothes.
We're missing all the keys. We got to start over. All right.
He stole the buff wizard off of our bar.
Oh my god, he stole our... He
He
stole
do
our
it.
masthead, the buff wizard. He said he was going to reanimate it.
Fell off my
But it
cube,
was
bro.
never animated to begin with.
Listen, he's mad.
And
Why?
very
Did
angry.
it not work?
Not that kind of mad, Bella.
Anyhow, as you ride upward, on your left to the south of you is Jedna's Folly, a bit of whitewater where legend has it an old dwarf named Jedna once sailed down, and depending on who you talk to, she was either in a homemade ship or a barrel, and she either survived or died. And there are more points of contention.
That's not a very good story.
I don't know, something
She either
happened.
did.
She was
She
either in a
either
boat
did
or
or
a
didn't
barrel
do
or
it.
just laying face down in the river. I
It
don't-
depends on who you ask. They say that every dwarven tavern has its own version of Jedna's Folly. Now,
Well,
Rip, you as a dwarf, what do you think happened? Or rather, what do you think? What's your favorite story to tell about it?
Okay, well, the barrel part definitely happened. We found the barrel.
You found the barrel in, like, we the dwarves, or you the rogue elements in this
Oh, no,
journey?
no. They sell splinters of the barrel back in Forge.
Oh, okay.
what?
I own 5.
A collector.
They would
Well,
sell
my
it.
plan is
I
I'm
own
going to get
50.
all the splinters, and I'm going to put the barrel back together, and then I'm going to ride it down the river. It's my live stream.
How are you going to get the splinters that
Alright.
people have already purchased?
I'm going to buy them off of them, obviously.
How are you
Ah.
possibly going to know who has bought all of them?
Wouldn't it be better
Ask
to just-
around, gosh.
Ask around.
Why are you
another
being such a
barrel?
negative Nancy?
I'm
Manuel?
just saying this seems like a very foolish idea.
Also, the barrel's already been smashed, so clearly it wasn't the best thing to go down.
I don't
the
know,
rapids in.
Scarlet. She did either live or die.
You have a 50% chance of living or dying.
Scarlet, as the battle van continues on its tracks,
Drifting like driftwood.
no, just following the shore where it's easy goings, you learn about the Fortress of Sapphire. It's a monstrous prison encompassed by an anti-magic field designed to keep wizards in. They say that looking down into the bay, the water is an eerie blue with no life, but as you drive deeper, you see a sprawling metropolis made of glass and gems. Guards are tagged with runes that identify them as allowed to use magic, but only in case of breakout or break-in. Now, that's, of course, somewhere near the bay near Horizon, where you're a few hundred miles from there. But what adventure or what came to pass where you learned about the Fortress of Sapphire?
Well, while we're going down the river.
No, you stopped going down the river as soon as you got to the sea and didn't want to go down any rivers. You wanted to go
Oh,
up
yes,
rivers.
yes.
But since you don't have propulsion, you're
Well,
now on
perhaps
land.
perhaps we passed a ship carrying some prisoners toward
Ooh.
the prison.
Okay, so this inspired you to just tell what you already knew to the group, or
Yeah, 'cause
something
I think
about
a
the...
ship
Okay.
a ship bound for Horizon, specifically one run by the by the wizards there, going to this prison. It's very
I
obvious.
assume you'd know something about an anti-magic giant prison. Being a wizard and all.
Well, it's where they put wizards so that they don't do spells to get out of prison.
Wizard jail.
It's
Jail for wizards who have done bad things.
People were pestering you for stories about it after you took an interest in the flag they were flying, and even used some of your cantrips to summon it down to you, because you saw that was no mere flag. That was a spell thread shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Just steal from the prison ship.
Wait, you mean it literally fell off the ship and?
Well, yes, because you made it.
You used your cantrips.
That
Fell
seems
off
like
the
a
back of
really
the
bad
ship.
idea.
Scarlet, this seems like a good way to end up in that magic prison you were just telling us about.
What if instead it was just like it?
No,
fell
that's
off
what you
the boat
did.
or something.
You took
How
it.
many
You
years
stole
they give
it.
you for stealing a
Yeah,
shirt?
you think you're gonna go
But,
there
like,
at least
a
for, I'd say, a
wizard
month for
shirt.
petty theft.
3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I'd say. That's my guess, based on what I know about law.
Look, I didn't steal anything.
It was
so.
It was her payment for assisting them with stopping a breakout on the river.
Oh, I didn't hear about
yeah.
that part. Oh,
It happened while. it
Gosh,
happened
Scarlet,
while
tell
you
them
were
about it.
About the breakout.
yeah. How'd you do that?
Yeah.
Well, obviously you've seen my ability to cancel magical spells.
Mm-hmm.
Wizard broke out of the ship, was making a run for it, and I managed to stop him.
Definitely would earn someone a spell thread shirt from a very appreciative boat of jailers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. And they're, a spell thread shirt is more a civilian garb. It's not one that they need on a prison boat. So
Right.
it's really more like, hey, you can have some civilian gear that we happen to have.
Contraband
Maybe they took it off.
is what it
Maybe they
is.
took it off
They
somebody.
took it
yeah.
off
Got-
that. They took it off that wizard that you stopped.
Got rewarded with contraband.
That's one of my favorite bands.
Scarlet actually only stopped that wizard because she was trying to steal the spell thread shirt off their back.
They're very hard to find in Horizon. They as soon as they go on sale, everyone has one. Like you can't just walk into a store.
As the going gets rougher and you meet some of the foothills of Giant Walk, and you recall some local landmarks, though from the opposite side that you saw them last, as because you're crossing the undermarch from above. You encountered Dorfel, an old robot, but having gained sentience only recently. He has the attitude and mindset of a more young adventurer, so he has many small dents and the like. Due to a conch on the head, he gained full sentience, and is,
What kind of conch is that?
I don't know. We could experiment.
yeah.
Let's just start
Slots, get
beating
over
slots around the head. See if he gains sentience.
He's sentient.
It turns out Dorfel is generally a bit of a coward, with 3 different ways to turn invisible that he's very quick to use. However, he will put his neck on the line to save allies when needed. Now, Mint, how did you get Dorfel to open up these sides to himself to people he just met, such as yourselves?
So we met this robot, right? We met this
Dorfel.
We met this. His robot's name is Dorfel.
And
Dorfel saw us approaching, and I, out of the corner of my eye, spotted Dorfel, and Dorfel tried to turn invisible. So I told everyone, just wait here for a second. Just wait here. I saw something. Don't worry. I'm gonna go check it out. So I get off the battle van,
Mm-hmm.
and I sort of go around sidelong-wise. And I saw where he turned invisible, and I thought to myself, that fella there, he turned invisible. I don't think he's trying to move around too much, though, so I still know where he is. And I came up behind him, and I just said, don't worry about it. And that kind of freaked him out.
I can imagine, yeah.
But it made him panic and sort of spin around and look at me and turn like visible again. He was like, "Rah!" But I'm just sort of like leaning against a tree chewing on a lemon that I had plucked off the tree. It was a lemon tree, and it's the right time of year for
Mint
good
just
fresh
straight
lemons.
up eats a lemon.
They're delicious,
Oh yeah.
and they keep you from getting that one bad disease. I forget.
Okay.
But yeah, he sees me just sort of standing there, and like he says, "What do you want?" I just say to him again, "Don't worry about it. You want a lemon?" And I hand him a lemon. And he starts chewing on it, and we just sort of sit there talking. I was like, "So, what's your story, stranger?" And he just seemed to just feel a little more relaxed now that we had said hello, exchanged lemons. And then, at this point, I had been away from the battle van for a while because we got to talking for an hour or two, and tough guy was probably wondering what sort of mischief I was up to. And then I forget, one of you came by, I forget who. Like Mint, what's going on? And that sort of made Dorful sort of panic again a little bit. I just said to him again, "Don't worry about it. This is... Which one of you was it?"
Nobody knows. It's lost to the sands of time.
Don't worry about it, man.
Don't worry. Don't worry about that detail.
All right. Don't worry about it. And so then, Dorful told us all about, Dorful's been adventuring. Dorful, wants to do difficult things that require bravery, but also Dorful values being alive a whole lot, and I understand that. I can be sympathetic to that. And that's why Dorful, sort of seems like this coward. Always wants to, turn invisible or run away or hide or use his jetpack to get out of our situation. And so I gave Dorful a little pep talk. Like, these are the things you can do, and you can use these to get out of bad situations, and that's fine. That's fine. But you can also use these to get into situations that other people could get into. A hammer is good for more than just pounding nails down.
And so is Dorful.
And we finished our lemons.
Mm-hmm.
And I patted him on the head, and we got back in the battle van and left. I hope he's doing okay.
I think he's doing very well after that.
As we were leaving, I think I heard you say, "You're gonna be okay," and he was like, "Don't worry about it." So I think he learned a valuable lesson.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We'll see him again.
Yeah.
The journey continued on along the side of the water route, local trade roads, and you came to the town of Foothold, up on the side of one of those chained lakes there, Thorin's Glory, to resupply for the final leg of the journey. And Margaret, what struck you as interesting about that town of Foothold?
What is the town of Foothold exactly? Like, what kind of settlement is it?
It's kind of what I'm asking. It is entirely undefined in the setting chapter. It's just a mark on the map.
Well, Foothold makes it sound like some kind of military affair. So,
Of course, Margaret found that interesting.
Yeah. It is the nearest imperial city to the Hellmarsh.
Finally, some good old imperial grub.
We're pretty, like, what dangerous places are near us? Like, the territories belong to the enemies of the Empire.
Well, like I said, you're nearer the Hellmarsh than you are your destination, because you're about to turn north. But yes, there is that.
This place was probably like a camp, like originally a camp like on the Imperial front against the Hellmarsh, back when it was still like an active and present danger rather than just sort of a, mild one that doesn't go away. We were actively fighting against it, but probably like just slowly over time evolved into a town. Which Margaret probably knows, of course, because she is up on her military history.
Of course. And of course, resupplying there was a dream with, sometimes these things just can't be shaken. Even though there's no more military here than in any given town in the Empire. It just has that sense about it, that regimented.
Yeah.
There's just a march beat within the heart of the town itself, you know.
Everyone hates it but Margaret.
But it means Margaret is incredibly able to navigate its rhythms, you know, the way one town feels distinct from another. This is just Margaret's kind of place.
I'm not opposed to this place.
And going to bed early at night.
It's better than that stupid mud village we were in before. At any rate.
Everybody leaves the tavern at exactly 9 p.m.
Okay, now I forget it. I'm no longer on board with this town.
At least the other one was a party all night. At least the night you were there. It was a special case anyway.
That was a disgusting party.
So yes, as mentioned, from Foothold, it's a turn directly north into the mountains toward the Northern Colossus. But on the way there, you find another strange curiosity. The giant structure you see that's a cube made of 9 smaller cubes that seems to be continually rotating until each square you can see on the outside has a different pattern on it, or perhaps old weathered sigils that you can't read due to age and because they're in constant motion. You see it rotate until all sides are only a single pattern, and then upon solving, it just quickly rotates all sides incredibly quickly, much faster than the slow constant rotations. Bella, what's this thing called?
Oh yeah, that's the cube of cubes.
I see.
The cube?
Yeah, it's
cubes of cubes.
It's the cube. It's the cube of cubes. Wizards also called it the cubed, but it's kind of pretentious. It's really the cube of cubes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, things have proper names for a reason.
Right.
We ought to preserve them.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened around the cube of cubes? I mean, it was about lunchtime or whatever, so you were happy to have something to distract you while you took a break from the road, but something more happened while you were watching.
Something more? Do you mean with the cube of cubes?
Possibly, probably.
Okay.
Or with our lunch.
Well, because the cube of cubes was really overwrought wizard invention, overwrought to say the least, invention by wizards to solve unsolvable problems, and in doing such, it basically functions by rotating its many faces in many different ways, sort of like solving a Rubik's cube, but cubed.
Never heard of it.
And yeah,
You mean
sorry,
a Rubik's cube?
sort of like solving a mini cube of cube.
Uh-huh.
And as everyone in the Empire has probably seen, no, but it every single time it comes to some sort of mathematical and magical impossibility, and then re-scrambles and starts over. And there is a large discharge of dubious magical energy every time this thing fails to solve a problem.
You mean cubes that do weird magic?
Yeah.
Never heard
And
of.
it actually kind of makes you wonder how this thing ever got funded or built or is continually maintained, because it has never solved the problem. It is still trying to figure out something, some unknowable thing.
Maybe, hold on, maybe its magical power is that if you knew it, you think it's a good idea to keep it going.
That's actually pretty good self-preservation,
yeah,
magical energy.
Perhaps
Yeah.
I should examine it.
In any case, this rhetorical, it is several times the size of Battle Van.
It is incredibly large.
It is very,
I
very
could take like one of the cubes, right?
That would probably cause an instability within the structure of the entire thing that it could.
It is not advised to deconstruct the cube.
Please do not
cubes.
remove a cube.
I'll come back for it.
If the magical discharge doesn't kill you, the cube of cube that you steal will kill you.
This discussion carries you further into that home stretch, which is interrupted by whoever is holding the Equinox orb, feeling a bit of that old familiar vibration.
Hello.
You see Beowulf's face deep within it this time.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah. Big guy.
Fellow.
Hey.
He says with a wink. Is my sister around?
Hey, Scarlet, you got a call here.
Okay, thank you.
Here you go.
Don't throw it.
Oh, sorry. I'm here.
So I pick up the orb, presumably out of the river.
Yeah. Hey, could you tell them not to throw this thing when a call's open? It's really disorienting.
I didn't throw it. I rolled it.
No!
Don't throw the orb.
Pukes Beowulf.
Like a bowling ball.
It kind of overrides your senses, doesn't it?
He's looking a little green, which is strange because he's usually blue. So he's got a bit of an update. Local news. Spookums Night is around the corner, and we are doing gangbuster business with like the haunted house. Padraic is literally a living gargoyle that sounds like Vincent Price. He is perfect for this job.
Who's Vincent Price?
You wouldn't know him.
He's a famous actor from Axis.
Oh.
He's that's the pen name, or rather the pseudonym of the richest Vincent in the world.
Oh.
He owns
That's
the
what he
concept
goes
of
by.
Price.
He's known for being a very unnerving guy in a theatrical but entertaining way. So yeah, I know the elves don't do much for Spookums Night, but still, we are bringing in the tourists from all over.
That's all well and good.
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
Well, there's some news from around the Empire. I know you guys are on the move. You don't get to get many newspapers. The Imperial Army has been moving into Eridu down in the Red Waste, Character note, everyone here would know this, but Eridu is the name of the largest dragon spawn majority settlement. There are more dragon spawn in Drakenhall, and there might be more in Axis than there are in Eridu, but Eridu's the biggest dragon spawn majority place there is. Now, they're telling stories about riots that they're coming in to keep peace, but rumor is, from your friends here at court, it's a crackdown, retribution for Eridu trying to open its own diplomatic relations with the Court of Stars, rather than doing whatever the Imperial diplomats say they want to do.
Fuck those guys.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're part of the Empire. They should be obeying the rules of the Empire.
I don't know what to
think it's right for
believe,
them
but
to be
I know
occupied, Margaret.
I'm nervous for the family we got over there is all.
So you're sure that whatever family we have is there in that town?
I know where my family is, and come on, we've all got family there.
Mm-hmm.
He says, speaking about your species.
Yeah, I guess that is pretty literal.
Yeah. Anyhow, sorry to be a downer on this, but I just wanted to talk.
Yeah, it's upsetting news. Maybe I should go check it out.
I mean, you got your saving the world stuff, but I just thought you'd want to know.
Mm-hmm. But
hey, Spookums Night, cash rolling in.
Yeah.
Not really feeling into it at the moment.
Tell Algernon not to kill anybody.
That would probably cut down the tourism trade. Yeah, if we were murdering guests.
He gets rowdy when there's a party. It doesn't matter what kind of party it is. He has his own idea of a party.
Anyway, I'll see you.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. So with that conversation ended, you've been seeing the Colossus looming large on the horizon because it is a Colossus. But now it's larger than it had ever been, and you see that between its feet there is a town that you're coming upon. Yep.
A very small town.
The Colossus, I'm going to read a quote from the book. 10 times larger than the biggest giant. Ours is even bigger than that. A great marble and granite statue of a warrior sits on a mountain bordering one of the passes used by both the Empire and the barbarians for invasions into each other's territory. Northern Colossus isn't a name that anyone uses unless they're speaking to someone outside their culture. Each culture has a claim on the Colossus and its own name for the statue. The dwarves name it the Hammer Guard, the elves say it is a Star Warden, and the Emperor says it was created by the first Dragon Emperor, and it has a secret name that also controls it. Whatever the case, the magic that animates the Colossus is still at least partially active. A few decades ago it moved to a different ridgeline of a different valley and sat down again. So, consistent with that, as you get closer, this town is, it seems temporary. You know, it's not made of old stone buildings. It's mostly wooden construction, which, and you know, canvas, actually. Canvas roofs rather than, canvas and thatch rather than shingles, you know, that sort of thing. It's got a town outside, it's got a sign outside saying, "Welcome to Moteja." And Moteja. And
I'm not saying that out loud.
Moteja.
It's Moteja, Moteja.
Moteja.
Is that...
That
You
is
don't
in
wanna-
the
you don't
tongue
want
of
to
the
say
notes.
that.
Yeah.
What? It's the name of the town we're in.
I'll explain later.
Sitting outside, what looks to be I mean, you see people outside going about their business, but sitting outside a civic-looking building, what looks like a meeting hall, or perhaps a church, although in small towns like this, it's often both the same thing. You see an old and wizened dark elf, who the elves among you can tell estimate his age better than the rest. He's rather elderly, to be sure.
No.
How old is that for
I'm
an
about
elf?
45.
Because we all know Margaret is practically geriatric. No. Elves live longer than that, man.
Actually, like Margaret, not only is he old, which I suppose would be unlike Margaret, but like Margaret,
Yeah, Margaret's like really young.
his face wears wears the years he has instead of that creepy eternal prime of life. He's weather beaten and haggard.
He looks very stately. Sophisticated,
He does,
dignified.
yes.
He looks respectable for an
He
elf.
looks both
I suppose.
wise and weary.
Perhaps we should introduce ourselves.
I suppose so.
I suppose so.
Boy!
He raises a hand, seeing you coming past what a row of stones that seems to serve as the town border.
We should probably poke outside.
Yeah.
The avenues are wide enough for a wagon, perhaps even a battle van.
Let's poke outside.
Okay.
We don't need our wizard.
Wimbledon is
headphones
is tethered with plenty of food and water
and slots.
and plenty of slots.
We just put slots on.
Plenty
and
of
weigh them
slots.
Yes. Oh, adventurers, what brings you here?
Wait, what was it again?
Just passing through, I thought.
Have you-
Might it be our local celebrity? He waves a hand to the feet of the Colossus.
No, definitely not.
In part, yes.
Or rather, the right foot, which is the one nearer to town center.
It's very
Partially.
nice. I've never
actually
been
have
a fan
a-
of feet. They're kind of gross.
You have them.
Not those kind.
I have paws, excuse me. They're quite dignified.
I'm more dignified than that.
We have
You
been.
okay?
I've been expecting you. I figured some adventure-seeking types would be coming before long.
Is something amiss?
Yeah, is there some sort of reason you
Something
think that?
amiss. The world is about to end. Everyone feels it on their tongue.
Yeah.
Well,
We're working on it.
We meant something specific to this area.
Don't worry
We're
about it.
only 8 people.
The world is racked by poor dreams and poor lives. Times like this, people seek a great warrior. He again just looks off toward, this time looking high up to the, well, from this vantage, you can really only see the battle skirt. It's the very
Oh, my.
Greco-Roman style.
Oh
Right,
my!
I
We're
used to
staring
cover
a
my
giant
eyes.
statue.
Hopefully that's all we can see.
Sitting beneath it is seated. You basically just see the knees down.
I like to think that I'm sure he meant whenever he said a great warrior, he meant literally like great in size, like a great like warrior.
It was a double meaning. The dude's got a sense of humor. How do you like that?
Yeah, so
Well, I mean, we are a band of amazing adventurers, so...
yes, let me just get to the point. Have you noticed a strange energy in this area, like magic?
An energy? Well, there's a nervous sense that goes through the town, and I'd imagine any town you've been to in the last few months.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is
Fair to say.
something very troubling and very recent, more than usual.
Oh, what would that be? We heard tell of a great army that splashed upon the city of the dwarves and was broken.
Broken by some
Yeah,
very
yes.
handsome and brave warriors, I hear.
Some great warriors. No.
Yes,
That is true.
that is true.
But this is
That happened.
It happened.
we don't. I'm talking about something even more recent than that, within the last couple of days.
What? Okay, what are you asking?
Did they
Think
pick
about
up
it.
this weird magical energy that I'm following?
Oh no.
Following.
I suppose I should have mentioned once you hit the sea, that dissipated. The smallness of it, meeting the greatness of the sea. It's yeah. You made springtime for a while, and it was lovely, and then it just sort of
fizzled
was
out.
That's
overwhelmed.
that's sort of
Excuse me, overwhelmed in the great
Oh.
size of the world itself.
Mm.
It's fixed now.
It's fixed.
Oh, I see. No.
That
Also, we have
whole
another
thing was a
question.
diversion to get you to special anniversary remember when times, all right? Cards on the
sorry.
table. Cards on the
I got
table.
hung up on the wrong plot point. Okay. So, what is this seat of the Colossus? Is that literally refer to the mountain he sits on?
I suppose it could. Suppose it could be the great. Maybe you're looking for a butt. How am I supposed to know Seat of Colossus? I've never heard anyone seeking one of those.
Well,
Do you mind if we take a look?
You mind if
At the
we...
Colossus.
is there a way
At the
to?
Colossus's butt.
Anything you might define as his seat, he is sitting on. So I suppose you'll be asking for me to move him.
No.
Can you move him?
Wait, you can move him?
Can you do that?
No, we're getting to the seat of the matter. He looks a little pleased with himself. The name
Stella
is
such a
kinda nods,
dad.
like, all right,
Very,
all right,
very
I'll give
well.
him that.
Yes,
Sure.
that's fair enough.
Yeah, sure. All right.
The name's Merrick Kane, and he extends a hand to anyone who wishes to shake it.
I will
I'll
shake
shake
it.
his hand.
I've met your brother.
I don't trust
We
him.
all reach in and shake his hand at once.
Everybody goes in and does the 1, 2, 3 hut, and everybody raises their hand up at once.
All the trust I had for this guy at the start has evaporated completely. He seems
What is-
incredibly
Because he made a
suspect.
dad joke?
Because he made a bad joke and because he claims to control like incredible powers, and also because like I don't know,
Do you not
Seems
trust people who
he
have?
seems in love with this giant statue, and that doesn't seem
He's
right to
proud of his city's one notable feature.
Pretty good giant Star Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what if
As
we?
far as giant Star Warriors go,
He was
it's
talking
basically the
about-
best I've ever seen.
He was talking about using a giant warrior to stop the end of the world, and you know, if this is like a pilotable giant statue that we can mech fight
me.
in.
Nothing
no, I
good
don't-
ever comes of using like excessive like amounts of magic.
Speaking
and
of the
nonsense like
statue,
that.
Mr. Kane,
So-
you said
so it
something
can-
about moving it?
Yes. Well, I
Some
do
that
know the secret, but I can't just tell anyone.
Surely you
I'm
can
sure you
tell
want-
some
All right,
very handsome
all right.
adventurers.
Bella kind of leans in and cups her hand over her ear and kind of like motions with her other hand, like, "But you can tell me. You can tell me this way." I mean, see, now it's like whispering.
I don't believe I could, though. I would like to. You seem very kind, all the 7 of you. 8?
7.
How many of the dragons count as your members, and how many count as livestock?
I think both dragons count as livestock.
8 of you, yes.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, Scarlet. It was just
Wait,
it was just
does
there. It was open.
Does the ghost count? I want to get this right.
Wait, which
Well, if you
ghost?
count the ghost, it's 9, but he doesn't really
Don't
do
count the
anything.
ghost. He's annoying.
He's quite literally a
Sucks.
hanger-on.
Well, if you wish to get it to stand, I'll need to go with you, and you'll need to go quite high up the mountain.
That sounds
Okay.
fun.
Has anyone
Before we
ever
do
heard of
that-
this? Sorry.
I have sort of. But if it stands up, then it's
Yes.
not sitting. And if it's not sitting,
Doesn't have a
it
seat.
no longer has a seat.
Well, the seat may be the mountain. The seat may be where it's seated.
Really-
Maybe there's a
I
very
really hope
small
not.
actual
Because
seat
it's-
underneath its giant
Fine.
body.
It's sat in
Yo,
more than
it's-
one place.
Young man,
I'm
let me
sorta-
demonstrate. He stands up from the bench and takes a step to the side. This bench here, you see, this is still my seat. I do own it.
Bella sits down in the bench.
This young woman is sitting in my seat.
This is my seat, actually.
She said
I'm
it's a
confused.
No. He
This is
owns the
difficult.
bench, so it is
I
still
believe you are
his
thinking
seat.
far too literally about.
How much was this bench, by the way? How much
this
did it
bench-
cost? It's very fine. It's a nice bench.
I never purchased it. I built it. You see, the lashing was done with my
Oh.
own hands.
Well, that's nice.
It's made of wooden planks lashed together. It seems to be. I mean, if you guessed from the weathering, if it was left out on this porch, rather than being an indoor-outdoor bench, it's got some years on it.
What-
That's pretty good.
Perhaps
Good job.
Perhaps
You can
it
see
is-
She stands up and shakes his hand.
I would have to assume the seat is meant in a metaphorical sense, like perhaps he who controls the Colossus has
Perhaps
the seat of the Colossus.
Perhaps it means.
Are you going to take me away for this adventure you've told me little nothing about?
Absolutely.
Not unless you. Not
We
unless
don't
you-
even
I'm
know
sort of
what
suspicious
we-
about
how
this
was
guy's
this thing?
claims. Like he says he can. Has this thing ever moved before? Like to
Yes,
tell
yes,
people
yes,
like,
it did.
Yes, it has.
Was that you?
Huh?
That was very long ago.
So Manuel's already going towards the foot. I assume.
It's not that far away.
Oh, yeah, that's
don't
why I'm
know.
going over there.
It's like right.
Why are we?
Maybe-
why are we taking
maybe
there's
so
by
this
long?
seat.
huge. There's
Maybe
this
by
huge,
seat it
sorry.
means the whimsy of the Colossus because it flies by the seat of its pants.
I
So-
could do that.
He's
But
not
I
wearing
think,
pants,
I think
though.
before we ask you,
I've lived in the shadow of this thing for many, many a day, but I've never found it whimsical.
I think
Yeah, I don't
before
think
we
this is-
have you try and move anything around, because we might not need that, and that could cause problems. So we
we
can
need much
defer
more-
that.
We
That
need
could-
information
problems.
before anything else.
Do you have any useful reading material? Also, can we just sort of go up there and look at
Examine.
things?
Yeah.
The things I have to say are secrets that must be kept. They would not be written down. But let me tell you freely and openly.
Okay.
First, let it be said that you only face what is brought with you. You only have the trouble that plagues your every step, and that to climb this summit is a more personal climb than any climb, any mountain you may have conquered before.
That's kind of heavy stuff.
Wow.
I don't think we've climbed any
Manuel has
mountain.
rolled a 19 on some sort of mountain climbing check. The face of the big toe is smooth, and he manages to find some handholds and scrabble around. Actually, it's really hard going because it's convex, and so he's like hanging below it until you get to that halfway up point,
Nobody
right?
said it was going to be easy.
Yeah, it's hard going, but Manuel gets a good view of the town from above, from atop the big toe.
Awesome. Is there anything notable other than thatched
Well,
roofs
you
and
can
canvas
see that
roofs?
the toe took you quite some time, and boy, you do not want to have to do the shin.
Fair enough.
Not without the offer of climbing equipment that Merrick Kane is about to make to the rest of the party in exchange for taking him with them.
Yeah, maybe you should come. Manuel, maybe you should come.
I'm
back
sure you
here.
guys will
Ropes
catch up.
and pythons and hammers and carabiners and all that and harnesses.
Manuel
Sure,
heard
please.
I really
adventure.
think-
He's off to find adventure.
I really think we shouldn't be so eager trusting this guy's intentions. Like, he seems too quick to do everything for us.
What do you think his
This
angle
giant
is?
monster statue. I don't know. He could just be luring us
Would
up
you
there.
like to ask him his angle?
He could have like hundreds of people up there who's done this too, like just lying there looted. How do you think he built this house?
Out of wood?
Wood, mostly?
What he probably
Trees?
took from people.
It's made out of hammers and
Young
bags.
lady,
It's
there's
full
no
for
wooden
people.
fee to climb. There's only a desire and a need.
Margaret gives him a very suspicious look.